everybody. So today I'm going to be doing how to make something that looks a little bit like this. So it's like a feed bucket. So yeah, let's get started. So I'm going to kind of explain what you need. So one thing you'll need is some type of funnel. I have this funnel right here. Like paintbrush and some paper towel, some paint of color of your choice, glitter, scissors, and paint little containers that you necessarily don't need anymore. So, and you also need a hot glue gun. So yeah, let's get started. So I already cleaned out one. You can just open it. I'm not showing cleaning out one, but you can just open it and run water in here and like scrub it with your hands for the cap and the actual thing. It's pretty simple. These came out really nice and clean. So yeah. So I cut it off of this little thing. That's why it's missing colors. So yeah, we're gonna start off by our first step, which is gonna be cutting. So we're gonna cut off this little spoke here on the bottom. So I'm gonna do that right now. So you want to try to cut it as close to the actual thing as you possibly can. So yeah, it's gone now. So now I'm gonna cut off this little bit here from the actual like little container. And we will be using all the main little bits of it, like the lid and the actual bottle, and all the rest you can recycle. So here it is. I tried to do the best I could by straightening it out. You can go over with like nail filer, that old one that smooth it out a bit, but you can always just go over again and snip it to the right size that you want. It's always not going to be perfect, so you just kind of got to go with it. So now you got that. Remember to keep the little top, and now we're going to cut off the little spoke on the top lid too. And then once you got that off, I'm normally really good at the tops, you got to cut off this little bit here. So this little spoke that connected to the actual jar. So once you get that cut off, it should look something like this. And then both of these pieces should look like this together. So this one turned out really straight, which is nice. And this one looks pretty circular, so yeah. So now we're going to go to our next step, which is going to be filling this little pot with glitter. So one thing you always want to have is a funnel. The funnel will really help you so you don't spill all over your craft area, because that wouldn't be very good. So right now, you would want to plug in your hot glue gun for the step you'll need it with, so it's ready for the time. And also, I got my new thing, and you'll want to use a gold glitter because that looks more like grain. So yeah. So I already have mine open. So now I'm gonna get my funnel. I'm gonna place it on top of my thing. I know this is the satisfying part, is pouring glitter in. So you guys can kind of see how much I'm pouring in. So if it's not coming out, you just kind of got to tap the actual funnel. And once you're done with that, you can put it on a paper towel because it's a bit glittery inside, and you can wash it out. So I'll do that afterwards. And now if it's a little bit uneven on the top, like mine is right now, you can just tap it, and it should go all nice and smooth. So now you got that, you can just get your top, you can place it on, and now it's going to be the painting job. So I always like having the top put on when you are painting, just to have it so it is easier to hold. So I picked this color, and it should say on your paint jug how long it takes for it to dry, and I already have one prepared so I can kind of show you guys what it will look like at the end. So I have my paint jug And then you're gonna also need your paintbrush and your paper towel. So right now I'm just gonna use my paint and I'm gonna put it on my paper towel just because I don't really have a proper like thing that I could put it on. So yeah, and now I'm just gonna get a bit of the paint and try to spread it evenly along the top of my jar. So this part I'm gonna have off camera just because it will be easier for me to paint, but we can have a little chit chat when I'm painting. But what I find is when I'm painting, it's always very streaky, so it's not that bad. I just gotta deal with it. I can't get it a solid color without having it a bit streaky. It's okay, guys. You gotta just kind of make sure it looks the most realistic as you possibly can make it. It's not like this is going in a real life barn. You can go in your pretend barn, but you gotta try to do your best. Don't give up. And this took me a few tries to do it right. I really don't want to show my first one because it was like a mess. It did not look good. It was very messy. The paint job wasn't that good. But you gotta always work on it. You gotta work on things that you might not be the best at and hopefully become a bit better at them. So you gotta just make sure you get all the extra little corners and areas that aren't all the way painted. So I'm going to show you what I have now. So as you can tell, a lot better painted. Still a little bit sketchy, but not sketchy, but like patchy in places. But you can always just touch those up with a smaller brush if you have one. So that's a bit better. So now we're going to do the lining of the top. So you can paint that the exact same way. And that will be a little bit easier because you won't really be able to tell the patchiness, because it's just kind of going in a straight line. So it will, maybe the consistency might be a bit better. And sometimes I gotta shake up my paint because I don't shake them very often. And that's sometimes why my consistency and my thickness isn't very good. So just kind of make sure that all your sides match the top so it doesn't look silly. And you can do that edge a different color if you want to make it really fancy. So once you get that, you can wipe off your paintbrush. You might want water too. I'm gonna rinse it in water once I'm done. But this is what I have so far. So once again, you can let that sit and dry for however long. But one thing that you'll want to do right now is you'll want to get your hot glue gun, so I have mine here, and line around all underneath so none of the glitter spills out. So I'm going to do that off camera too, and I'll show you once I'm done. And then I have one that's already pre-made, and I'll show you that right after I'm done lining this. So yeah. So, and line it wherever your little lid, the edges, because you want to make sure that none of that glitter comes off and that little lid stays on. So if you want, I don't really care. It might be a bit hot, but you can kind of press in your hot glue a bit. I'm just doing this when the paint's still wet. I don't suggest doing it when the paint's wet because you can smudge it, and once again, just repaint if it's smudged. If it is still wet, that's the best time to do it, when the paint is still wet. If it isn't, that's not a big deal. But yeah, so this one isn't the best job, but I'm gonna set this one aside to dry, and I'll show you one of my good ones. So this is one of my really good ones, and this is one that I pre-made that is almost exactly similar, almost the exact same as the one I made with you guys. So it is dry now. I took this one about 20 minutes to dry, which was pretty good, and it looks really cute. So you guys can always go on the internet and print a logo of feed, and then sticky tack it or hot glue it on, and making it go into Google Docs, and then shrink it so it will fit, and then cut around it and stick it on. That's always a cute idea, but I always think it's cute to have like a custom made one, and you can always just like paint a name on it or something. So like, yeah, or you can always paint like a name on the top or print a name on the top with your own handwriting or something. But yeah, so that was today's video. Bye everybody, I hope this will help you.